Okay, so today we're checking out this Zero Water, and it's the 23 cup pitcher. And we have some very salty tasting water in our apartment, and I don't know if it's because of a water softener, which we don't have access to, or what, but they do use salt in their pool, and I'm wondering if it's the same kind of system that is softening the water. So I went ahead and got the Zero Water because I want to see if it removes the taste, which is our biggest problem because we make ice cubes and have drinks and stuff, and then when that ice melts, it just ruins the entire drink. And it comes with a TDS meter, and if you don't know what a TDS meter, basically what it does is it measures in parts per million the dissolved solids in your water. And as you look at the product here, this is where they store the TDS. So essentially, I used this on our tap water and it came out to 150 ppm. All right. So our well water that we had at the previous place would be about 170, 175. So it's a lower dissolved solid reading here. But the water just tastes horrible, and it's, city tap here in Virginia. But anyway, went ahead and got this. Just a quick little review. I went ahead and set it up. Setup was super simple. Basically, you unpackage it, you screw on the filter, and you pour the water in the reservoir, okay? And water will slowly start to filter through here. A couple of hiccups that we did run into. There are some air bubbles that get trapped in this filter unit, so you have to tap it or, remove this and kind of shake it around and get those air bubbles out. I've also found that this particular model, while it says it's a 23 cup, is actually what Zero Water considers their 30 cup, okay? So what that means is it'll hold 23 cups in the actual containing unit, but in this water reservoir, it holds 7 cups, so it makes it 30 cups. Now, the issue you might run into is that everywhere you go, Walmart, Amazon, wherever, to look for the 30 cup, you won't find it because according to Zero Water's website, the 30 cup is sold out. It is actually the 23 cup. It's got a different model number. And if you go to the website, the 23 cup and the model number for this do not show up on their website. So I questioned it, asking if this was a legit Zero Water product because it didn't have any literature on their website, and they said, yes, this is the 30 cup because it holds 23 and technically holds the 7 here. So this is the 30 cup model. So get a good look at that box. All right, I'll put a link to it in the description. But anyway, moving forward, a couple issues that I found. I like to start with the issues and kind of discuss that first, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. This is designed for countertop or refrigerator use. It is thinner than most that I've seen. Obviously, it holds more than a pitcher. But here's the issue that I have, okay? Well, aside from the lid, we'll get to that in a second. As you can tell, it wobbles, and that's because there's no footing on the front side of this where the spigot is, so that if you had to get every last drop, you could tilt it forward. Here's the problem. We have a cat. And during my setup, I'm glad it didn't break. It was half full of water. It was sitting right here, and he managed to jump up here because he loves water, and he knocked the whole unit onto the floor. It did not break, but it took me forever to find the TDS meter, which was under the stove over there. But that's how unbalanced this is. And again, that lid. So I'm going to get to that right now. The lid. There it is. Cheap plastic, which I understand because the product is in itself inexpensive. But it does not stay flush, but that's not a deal breaker. It does not click in. I can't get this thing for the life of me to actually lock in. It does have little grooves here I don't know if you can see that, but there's some grooves there that are supposed to lock in, but I think my lid is a little warped and it's not popping in those grooves. And then once that's popped in, this is your area to fill. Okay, I have a 4-cup measuring cup right over there. I tried pouring it in. It's such a big measuring cup that it spilled all over the countertop. So filling this was a little bit of a hassle. I had to go really slow. I wouldn't put more than 4 cups in here because it actually brings it up quite a bit, and it would make moving this a little bit more difficult with sloshing around. All right, so on top of that, to drain, or I should say to filter those 4 cups of water, it took exactly 10 minutes. All right, exactly 10 minutes to do 4 cups filtered into here. And that was when there was no bubbles or anything like that. I've gotten this thing half full already. So if time is an issue, or if you need more than 4 to 7 cups, you might need to think about how that's going to work for you, because you'll have to constantly put more water in to equal 23 cups in here, and that could be time consuming because, as you can do the math, 10 minutes per 4 cups, you're looking at an hour to fill this thing up. Okay, so keep that in mind. I mainly got it because we use coffee in the mornings and we need lots of water. I'd like my coffee to taste normal, so here we are. All right, so just a quick little review. It is a good product. I'm about to test the actual end result here. Once I fill this up, I want everything to get in there nice and mixed, and then I'm going to fill this up and I'll do an update and add it to the tail end of this video. Stand by. Okay, so we went ahead and did the TDS now instead of waiting another 20 minutes to fill this thing up. But anyway, it is reading exactly 0. It won't focus. Put it on hold here. Get that in there. It just takes a matter of seconds. Put it on hold. And so you can see it is reading 0. And they're so confident that it's going to read 0 that it actually tells you to replace the filter when the specs on your TDS are 006 and we're triple zeros all the way across. Okay, so that's when they tell you to replace the filter. That's how confident they are. Now, I am very familiar with TDS units, and this is the basic TDS tester. I use these for hydroponics and things like that, so I'm very familiar with how those work. So I believe that is an accurate reading. I have no doubts about that. The push nozzle is very easy to use. I didn't have any issues with that. Just make sure that you get your cup under it, because there's a lot of space here in the front. So almost an inch and a half from the button back. The nozzle is actually right here. Almost against this blue plastic line is the back end of the little nozzle. So make sure when you go to fill it, you're not filling it from here. You're filling it from the back end. All right. Other than that, this is a pretty good unit. The taste, I had no issues with the taste. It actually took the salt flavoring out, which means it is definitely filtering out the sodium. All right. So far, looking pretty good. That's some pretty clear water. I don't see any particulates floating around in either the glass or the reservoir. So if you're interested, I think I picked this up for under 50 bucks. Again, it's the larger unit that I could find. I did all the research on these. It is the same time, filter change time as most of the other ones. So there's no real drawback there. As far as filters are concerned, you can buy multi-packs from Zero Water or online, or your local, Walmart or whatever. Wherever you shop, I'm sure they carry them. Now the filters should all be the same for all of their units with the exception of their Eco model. I think that one uses a different filter. But yeah, not bad. Compared to Pure and Brita, this one had better ratings overall. And yeah, it comes with a fancy little TDS meter at that.